On this week's Waypoint, we've got a new champion to talk about, a rundown of patch 4.19, and a controversial move by Riot concerning the expansion tournament. What's up, guys, and welcome to Waypoint, your weekly League of Legends recap. I'm your host, Andrusco. I'm really excited to talk about Kalista, the Spear of Vengeance. She's likely the last champion we're going to see in 2014, but wow, is Riot ending the year with a bang. She's a ghostly, spear-wielding AD carry, and no, she isn't Lucian's wife. For reasons. The biggest being she isn't called Senna. Let's dive into her kit, starting with her unique item, the Black Spear. At the start of the game, Kalista offers a pact to an allied champion. If they agree, the Black Spear disappears and the pair becomes soulbound. This enables Kalista's W passive and also her ultimate, which we'll get to in a minute. Generally, you'll do this with your support, but it isn't mandatory. Kalista's passive is pretty interesting. If you try to move while in the middle of an attack animation, instead of canceling the attack, she'll hop in that direction after her attack. She also leaps further if moving away from her target, giving her exceptional kiting power. Her passive scales really well with attack speed, but the faster she attacks, the harder it is going to be to use properly. Even the best Kalista players will probably have to use attack move to compensate, which you can set up in your keybinds. Although her passive is really good for kiting, harassing, or escape, it's actually not that great for chasing. If you're chasing a melee champion, they turn around to smack you in the face, you leap away, and now they're out of your range. Not an issue if you're chasing a low health target, but if they're a threat to you, it's something to keep in mind. Her Q is exactly what you would expect. She hurls her spear and it does damage. W is much more interesting. Passively, it makes her and her soulbound ally do bonus magic damage when they attack. That's going to be the most useful in the laning phase on your support. Her W's active summons a ghostly sentinel which patrols around. So a scouting tool that's going to keep you alive when the enemy jungler is hiding in a bush. Her E is interesting as well. Kalista's basic attacks as well as her Q leave ghostly spears sticking out of her targets. Using E will rip these spears out, slowing them and dealing bonus damage for each spear pulled. The ability's cooldown resets when used to secure a kill, and hilariously, the spears stack indefinitely, although they do fade over a short time, so not really. Finally, her ultimate is what's really getting everyone excited. She pulls her soulbound ally inside of her, disabling their spells and making them untargetable. At that point, Kalista's ally can dash out of her in a target direction, knocking enemies with an AoE. Overall, I really like Kalista on paper, but I'm not so sure she's going to be a great solo queue champion because of the amount of coordination you need with your soulbound partner. Still, I can't wait to play her. Next up, Update 4.19 was a relatively small patch as Riot continues to test out the big stuff on the PvE. Singed got a shiny new visual update with a new model and texture for all his skins. His trademark fling received a gameplay tweak as well. When Singed flings his target into his AoE sludge, he'll now snare his target for 1 second. The sludge still has its slow, but this is a nice buff to reward good Singed players. His max level ultimate also got buffed up nicely. Sion got a little post-rework love too. Bug fixes, mana cost reductions, quality of life goodness, and an adjustment to his passive that really rewards Sions who stack health. Lucian got hit hard in this patch. The AD ratio on his W has been removed, but it now gives more movement speed to compensate. Lucian's ultimate is going from a 50-second cooldown at max level to a 90-second cooldown. That's a monstrous nerf for a champion who's often picked because of his insane wave-clearing potential. There's no doubt we're going to see less Lucian in Season 5. Ryze also got hit hard. He's lost 40 damage on his max rank Q, which is quite a bit when you consider how spammable that ability is. Ryze will still be a late-game beast, but he won't be quite as much of a bully in the laning phase anymore. He loses 20 damage at rank 1 as well, which is going to make it even harder for Ryze to CS well under tower. After a strong showing at the World Championships, Zilean has finally received the global passive nerf treatment. His experience-boosting passive will now only affect champions within a 1500 range. Riot is steadily hammering out Azir's problems. There are 4 bug fixes in this patch alone for the Emperor of the Sands. That's it for 4.19, other than bug fixes for a couple of champions. We're only days away from the beginning of the LCS Expansion Tournament, and Riot is doing something a little bit, well, questionable. I can't overstate how big a deal the Expansion Tournament is for the competitors. The NA and EU LCS are each adding 2 new teams, and this tournament is the golden ticket to becoming a pro player. It's kicking off on the 15th with the online portion of the event, and the offline portion will be starting a few weeks later. And that's where we run into problems. It's just been announced that while the start of the tournament will be played on 4.19, the offline stage will be played with the new jungle. That means competing players will have to practice on 4.19 like they're doing now, but also prepare for a game-changing patch. This isn't a minor jungle tweak, guys. This is the real deal. A complete redesign with new numbers, new monsters, new buffs, new everything. To steal a joke from Reddit by AP Cookie, why don't we just have them play Heroes of the Storm instead? Okay, it's not that drastic, but I still don't like it. On one hand, yeah, adaptation is an important part of being a pro player, but there's never going to be a patch this significant while the LCS is ongoing. And from a spectator's point of view, this doesn't look like a great way to ensure quality games, does it? Good luck, guys. Do you know what League of Legends lacks? Explosions! Well, you know, other than Ziggs and Rumble and half of our AD carries. Well, fine, we sort of have explosions. What we don't have are massive explosions inflicted by over 220 armored vehicles from America, Germany, France, and the Soviet Union. If those are the sorts of fiery balls of death you're looking for, then I highly encourage you to check out World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a team-based, massively multiplayer online action game dedicated to armored warfare. New players can jump into combat and get going in less than a minute, fighting with players from all over the world in fast-paced, epic battles. Best of all, it's free to play with no barrier to entry. There is absolutely no risk in trying World of Tanks, so head on over to gboffer.com/tanks and check it out today. Following that link and checking out the game is also just a great way to support us and help us continue to make shows like Waypoint. Once again, to check out World of Tanks and support this content, head on over to gboffer.com/tanks and have a blast. See what I did there? Blast! Tanks. Yeah, I know. That does it for this week's episode of Waypoint. For more video game news and content, head on over to gamebreaker.tv. Be sure to check back every week for the latest League of Legends news. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and comment below to help us reach more people. And if you want more League of Legends content, recaps, and updates, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LolNationTV. I'm Kat Andrusco, and you can follow me on Twitter @KatAndrusco. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you at the next Waypoint.
Gamebreaker TV.